This is the PowKiddy Q90, not to be confused with the PowKiddy V90. This is the horizontal build type version. Now internally, it's the same as the Q90, so much so that since these are both one SD card type units, I can pull the SD card out of this one, put it in this one, and continue with the same game. So I got this one as a beater machine because I have a small child. I've got 3 kids, but one of them in particular is very small and still breaks things. And I wanted a beater machine that he could play with and break. It delivered on that, but it wasn't much more. So I thought I'd show off some of the problems with it. First and foremost, take a look at this. This is the battery door, and it won't stay closed, right? I taped it shut. And I had this at a vendor event yesterday, and I was playing it because it was, a lot of people there, and I would have been okay if something crazy happened to it. And this thing just kept popping open, and of course now it seems okay. But what's weird is that the battery isn't swelling or anything like that. Like I got the impression that the battery was swelling up, and it was like a dangerous thing. No, it's fine. It's just something about the door won't stay on. So there's that. But to be honest, for what I paid for it, this usually goes for $40, and you can find it on sale for less than that. For what I paid for it, it does the job okay. One of the things I like is that with the regular firmware, most people say jump to the custom firmware, which it's true. You can get custom firmware on this, and it does open up a lot of possibilities. But the standard firmware, I just booted it up. If you're paying attention, the way these emulation handhelds go, that is a fast boot time. And that was what I liked about this machine, was the boot time was fast. And that's pretty much where it ends. Statistics pages will tell you that it goes up to PS1. It can't really play PS1, but everything under that should be fine. That is not true. If you try and play Super Nintendo is spotty. Let's see. You can play some Super Nintendo games, but like frame perfect platforming, I would avoid. Like Super Mario World's on here. You could probably play through Super Mario World, okay? But I like ROM hacks. I wouldn't play... Oh, there goes the battery door again. I wouldn't play through a ROM hack. Oh, and the battery's almost falling out. All right, hold on, let me fix this. Here's another weird thing that happened that never happened on the V90. Although to be fair, this issue you could probably resolve by jumping over to the alternate firmware. Check this out. So I was sort of idly playing through Super Mario Land 2, and I was save scumming, Oops, I'm trying to look at the phone again. I should be looking directly at the screen. I was save scumming. It's not, it's not a tournament. It's just me having fun here. And the save and load features started like acting weird. All right, so I've loaded state. Great, now watch this. I'm gonna advance just a wee bit. Let's just go to the other side here. Great, perfect. Now I'm gonna save state. Okay, and now I'm gonna load state. And I went back. And this kept happening yesterday when I was trying to play through it at this vendor event. And I became more interested trying to figure out what was going on with this save and load feature than I was actually trying to beat the game. But again, if you switch to the alternate firmware, that would probably be resolved. That's just something weird I ran into. Yeah, that is the Q90. So here's the weird part. This is not really a bad device. I have had fun with this. The thing is, we're in this place with these emulation handhelds where there's so many on the market. You can get a much better device than this for just a few more bucks. Again, I did have good fun with it. More often than not, I open Game Boy Advance and I play Sonic Advance, and I give it to my youngest son, and he, presses right on the first stage or two or whatever, and has a good time with it. And I'm pretty soon it'll break, and that's okay, because that's all I wanted it for. But if you really want to dive into the world of emulation handhelds, even if you're restricted to budget handhelds, put in a few more bucks. The PowKiddy V90 is internally the same machine, and it's one of the best budget devices you can get, and we'll go into that in a separate video. Because right now this is about battery popped off again. If I could get Scotch tape and just Scotch tape that battery cover on a little bit better, bet you it'd be fine. It could go right back to being my beater machine, and that'd be okay. So that's my opinion of the Q90. I would say skip it unless you're a collector of handhelds, which it seems like there are a bunch of now. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll give this away or something. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Oh, battery fell out.